Greetings, YouTube. My voice is still terrible, but I am here to talk about some breaking news regarding Alliance Quest. And I think this is not to sound over embellished or dramatized, some of the biggest news in the history of the game. Now, it's interesting to me because Kabam wanted at first the inclusion of relics to be the biggest news ever in the game. And then they acknowledged that they kind of took a step back from that, at least initially, because they didn't want people who didn't care about relics to feel like, well, they couldn't actually compete. And personally, as somebody who's still lukewarm on them at best, I appreciate that. But we have to acknowledge before this begins that I think in all the game modes that have been improved in the 7+ years I've played this game, I think Alliance Quest is at the top of the list of what Kabam's done the best job of. I don't think Alliance Quest is ever something that I'm going to think of as fun. And I don't want it to be. I don't need it to be. I simply need it to be something that is pretty easy to do, that with my roster, I don't have to worry about using items daily for, and that after a week gets me a good amount of glory for rank up rewards, in this case, rank 4 materials, and something that also gives me the ability to get a few more, say, Tier 5 Basic, Tier 2 Alpha, and a few other rank up resources. That's it. I view it as a necessary means to an end, and that end is resources. Some people say, Prof, Alliance Quest needs to be blown up. It needs to be way more fun. It needs to be like Incursions or something. I mean, maybe that would make it better, maybe not. But I don't. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Like, to me, it's fine as is. The maps are doable. They have made it so much better to take down the hour timers and make that better. They've done so much better to make the link nodes less. And when I started Alliance Quest, it's worth noting that the Glory Store didn't exist. Like, Glory is a whole new invention, even though it's not new now, but when it came out, it was new to give people a different kind of currency for Alliance Quest. And personally, I think that's awesome. It is also worth noting that I've been waiting until the right video, and I suppose this is it, to purchase my week's worth of Tier 6 Basic and Tier 3 Alpha, which I get 4 of each. And that's my glory purchase for the week. Look at that. Kabam just released info that the 5-day Alliance Quest cycle is moving to 4 days. And that alliances will have some control over what days those 4 days are. This is monumental. To me, even though Alliance Quest, especially on easier maps like Map 5 and Map 6, it's not hard to get a day's worth of movement in. And speaking of which, the small energy refills and energy refills in general have also helped. And this is not just an Alliance Quest buff pro player move. This is also for war. But these things have been really nice. And some people actually spend some glory on them every once in a while because it's just less stressful for them to burn a few and do all their paths at once than it is to wait. I mean, you do you, buddy. Whatever makes you happy. But this is like real growth from Kabam. This is taking something that historically, as far as I can remember, has always been 5 days and dramatically changing it for the benefit of players. And I don't need my voice to be 100% to be excited to talk about it. Because in the end, the future of the game depends on the happiness of players. And the happiness of players depends on the quality of life. The more quality of life you give players who don't have to spend as much time grinding different game modes, the better you're going to be. And Kabam Jackson, we've covered this on the channel this week, again, has also been very vocal about how he wants people to pick and choose what they play now and not feel like they have to do everything. But part of the problem of always being able to do everything is that's a hard thing to concede. Like, you don't want to just say, I don't have time to do the event quest like I want, or Certainly Alliance Quest or Alliance War if you're somebody who's used to doing that, or Battlegrounds. But I still think best thing to do if you want to be casual, easier map of Alliance Quest, maybe one Battleground of Alliance War, and then three, or one battle group of Alliance War, not Battlegrounds, and then one shot. Usually, I do 3 Battlegrounds fights every 2 days to get the trophy tokens, and rarely do I go 3 out of 3. Half the time I go 1 out of 3, half the time I go 2 out of 3, and call it a day. And then, of course, I spend most of my time in the arena because I hate my soul. So excited for these changes. The biggest pro player Alliance Quest move ever? I think so. 4 days? Wonderful. Kabam. You deserve all the applause for this. Way to go. Thanks for the info. Have a great rest of your day.